In lessons 5, 6, and 7, students plan and carry out investigations into how we can prevent the COVID-19 virus from spreading. In lesson 5, students investigate how the COVID-19 virus can get out of our bodies. They work as a class to plan an investigation to explore how far water droplets can travel when they're sprayed or flicked with their fingers. After carrying out the investigation, students analyze their data to understand how far away you should be from the source of those droplets to avoid being sprayed by them. In lesson 6, students design an investigation to see how we can block the droplets that come out of our mouths and noses. If students already trust that face masks work because so many trusted people tell us to wear them, you can frame this investigation as scientists who are trying the same investigations to see if they get the same results. In lesson 7, students hear from a scientist about how the virus gets into our bodies, and they design an investigation to find effective methods of hand washing. The investigations in these 3 lessons can be adjusted to meet the needs of your learning environment and the interests of your students, and the teacher guides provide guidance about those options. You might be wondering though, can kids really plan an investigation? How does that go in a classroom? Let's hear about that.
Can kids really plan an investigation? I wholeheartedly say yes. My students plan the investigations, and I have to tell you, I am not that teacher that enjoys teaching science. I don't feel comfortable teaching science. With that being said, I volunteered to do this just straight out the back. I was like, I needed something that would help me be a better science teacher. And I wanted to get something that was engaging for my kids. And the lessons, they were just so well detailed, very explicit directions. And they supported me through the process of teaching it. But they also supported my kids. My students could wholeheartedly plan and engage in those investigations. And most of my students were so engaged that they would go and do the investigations while we were online and run back ready to tell the class what they did and what they were learning and what happened, and definitely do those investigations so the kids can plan them and carry them out.
This was a teacher get out of the way situation. This was a let's come up with a question together, and then without even prompting, as a group, they were starting to discuss / interrupt and argue with each other about how we're going to test it, and it happened very quickly. And there was a lot of consensus right away. As a teacher, there's a certain amount of finessing that sometimes we have to do of like, students are here, I know we need to get here, and so I'm going to try to kind of lead them in a certain situation, in a certain direction. There was not much prompting with these lessons. The students knew what they wanted to find out, and they had a variety of ideas right away. If a student didn't have an idea right away, they were able to, in small groups, add on, or say like, I don't understand, or they were still able to contribute ideas. It was very natural. The students absolutely designed them. The most support that I had to do was how to represent the results. And I think that's, for 4th grade, that was pretty developmentally appropriate. And then ended up being really useful later on in our math lessons when we're doing line plots and we're doing data analysis and we're doing tables, and it was all very relevant. A couple of them, the students took the investigation to a level that I wasn't expecting that was really scientifically sound. And I don't mean to sound surprised, but it was at a level that I hadn't expected it to be. For example, when we were testing pieces of paper and blowing through the mask, one student asked, well, I have a bunch of different masks at home, can I try different masks? And so I brought it to the class, like, what do you all think about that? Would it be a reasonable study to try testing different masks? And like in the chat, everyone was like, yes, 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 yes. It helped to connect things that happened later on in the unit. And then again, like later on in the year when we were able to talk about like outliers. Why did the gator move 5 pieces of paper, and why did all the other ones move 0 or 1 pieces of paper? Is this valid? Does that make sense? That student initiated idea led to a deeper level of discussion and really important data to analyze as well. So can students design an investigation? They can design it better than I can.